We are also celebrating the proclamation to recognize October as LGBTQ plus Awareness and History Month here in Orange County Public Schools. And for that, we have a special guest. We invited Clinton McCracken, one of our teachers, and no stranger to our board members. I think most of us know Clinton personally. And I wanted to ask Clinton if he would read this proclamation. And Clinton, as you come forward, I had the opportunity right after I was elected, when I was out touring schools, to meet Clinton, and as we were just touring the school, and he broached with me the fact that we had not ever proclaimed LGBTQ Awareness Month here in Orange County Public Schools. And so the reason I reached out to Clinton in particular is we wouldn't probably be doing this. We should be doing this. We should have been doing this, I believe, all along. But for you coming up and having that conversation with me and bringing that to my attention. So I wanted to invite you here personally to help us proclaim that. So if you would share with us a few words, and then if you would present the proclamation and read it on behalf of the board, we would be most honored.
I would be glad to. And thank you for having me. I think I'll keep my mask on. Can you hear me?
We can. You know what? Try, if you don't mind. Are you okay with using that mic over there? Because I think it might be a little bit better.
Can you hear me?
Better. Thank you.
Good. Good evening, Madam Chair, board members, and Superintendent Jenkins. I want to thank you for the wonderful honor to be able to read this proclamation. It's special to me. Research studies have shown that having just one positive role model can make an enormous impact on the life of an LGBTQ plus student. I want to briefly share my story to make this clear. I endured a childhood with no such role model. I have vivid memories of how difficult it was growing up gay and closeted in a small Midwestern school with no support system for gay kids. There were no GSAs, no days of silence, and no safe space stickers on doors. There were no out teachers and none who claimed publicly to be an ally. Instead, there were teachers who harassed and teased me for acting too gay and laughed when kids did the same. I was called horrible names every day in the halls of my high school. I was physically assaulted. For me, school was a daily terror. I want you to contrast my experience with what can happen today when a student walks into a classroom with a rainbow safe space sticker on its door. They know immediately where this teacher stands with LGBTQ plus students. And this proclamation today tells these students where their district stands as well with LGBTQ plus students and employees. And it also tells our entire Central Florida community when they drive by a school and see that on a marquee, what we stand for as a district: equality and dignity for all. This proclamation is a line of demarcation, just like that safe space sticker on my classroom door today. In this space and in this time, you matter, and this community stands beside you to help you reach your fullest potential. I am so grateful to the many people over the years who have made it possible for me to work in a district where I am free to be my true self and free to endeavor every day to be a positive role model for my students. And the proclamation. Whereas all students have the right to attend school in a safe and inclusive environment free from harassment or discrimination, and in which they can reach their full potential. And whereas harassment and bullying policies that specifically mention sexual orientation, gender identity, and gender expression are associated with students feeling more safe, lower levels of bullying, decreased incidents of harassment related to sexual orientation, increased teacher-staff intervention, and greater reporting of incidents. And whereas the School Board of Orange County policy currently provides protections for students and employees on the basis of race, color, religion, age, sex, national origin, marital status, disability, sexual orientation, genetic information, gender identity or expression, language spoken, homelessness, or any other reason prohibited by law. And whereas LGBTQ+ students are subject to harassment, bullying, intimidation, and violence across the nation. And whereas a lack of awareness and understanding on issues facing LGBTQ+ children and youth has contributed to higher rates of isolation, depression, and suicidal ideations. And whereas national studies have revealed that discrimination at school has contributed to high rates of absenteeism, academic underachievement, and school dropout among LGBTQ+ youth. And whereas education regarding LGBTQ+ issues increases understanding and cultivates acceptance of and respect for LGBTQ+ children and youth. And whereas Orange County Public Schools collaborates with Equality Florida and the Zebra Coalition to train staff and faculty concerning LGBTQ+ issues and support our middle and high school gay-straight alliances. Now therefore be it resolved that Orange County Public Schools does hereby proclaim October 2020 as LGBTQ+ Awareness Month.
Clinton, thank you so much. Thanks for being here with us. Thank you for sharing your story and your heart. And for those who don't understand how important this is to our young people, I think your personal story is one that has been lived over and over and over again for centuries. And we're pleased to say that here in Orange County Schools, we've really tried to send the message that's not a story that should be lived out in any of our schools today. I see that Member Castor-Dental wants to be recognized. For those who are not aware, I do want to point out something. Suicide is a really hard thing to talk about, but sadly, it is too common of a phenomenon in our society among young people. And Vice Chair will recall all too well that we had 3 suicides in one high school last year. 7% of our high school students admit to attempting suicide at some point. The rate for our LGBT students is 20%. That is a horrible reality, and it can change just by knowing that when you come to school, there's a place where you're accepted and you can be exactly who you are, and people will not just accept you, but they will love you for that. So let me call on Member Castor-Dental. Member Castor-Dental, if you're not there, I'll go to Member Gallo. We'll come back to you in a minute. Member Gallo?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to say I'm excited that this has come back for the second year in a row, and thank Clinton for all your hard work on this. This means so much to our students and to our kids. And you're right, those stickers, they change lives daily. And I'm so happy for that. And being as someone who's worked closely with Equality Florida and all the good work that they do, I'm just so happy and so proud of the school district for what we do for our students and how we try to keep them safe. And we need more moments like this in 2020. So thank you.